G'day guys, welcome back to Supercoach with DR. Today I'm going to look at a player who has been in my team since day one of the preseason and was one of my biggest locks. He's currently in 11% of sides, and the man I'm talking about is the contested beast, Josh Dunkley. But suddenly, after only one round, Dunkley owners such as myself have had some slight concerns, and we do have a big decision on our hands. Do we hold or do we trade? In most seasons past, there is absolutely no way I'd look to move on a premium selection after only one round, unless they sustained a major injury. But this year is different, and some of our previous rules need to go out the window, and we really need to rethink some things. Why is this? Well, it's a very unpredictable year. Prices change after only two rounds, and we have the luxury of actually using 5 trades in round 2. So I'll start off by talking about why I selected Josh Dunkley at the start of the season and why he never left my side. Well, firstly, I focused on selecting some of the more up-and-coming mids coming into their prime. I tried to avoid players, around the age of 30. I look for those real professionals that go above and beyond to get the best out of themselves. And I'm also looking for players that also present a little bit of value. And Josh Dunkley, at 23 years old, seems to tick all of those boxes. But unfortunately, had a terrible score in round 1 of 67. And if you look at our break even over here, it's 174, which is definitely a slight concern because given the fact that prices will go down after the next round or up, but I think in Dunkley's case, it's pretty safe to say they will go down. We do need to make some decisions. And given the fact that we do have those 5 do we call them luxury trades? I'm not too sure. Then we can, I think, in my opinion, look to maybe sideways trade one of our premiums. I think the focus should be on trying to make sure that we've got some playing rookies on our benches and obviously on our fields. But I think given the fact that we've got 5 trades up our sleeves, we can look to possibly move on an underperforming premium who looks like they may be losing a fair bit of early cash. All right, so what are some of the reasons for holding Josh Dunkley? Well, if we have a look at his 2019 season, we can see that he didn't start off setting the world on fire. A 98, 95, 93, not the worst scores in the world, but certainly not those 100 plus scores or, 110 plus scores that we would have been hoping for Dunkley. But let's have a look at round 7 all the way up to the elimination final. We can see all of a sudden we see some 130, 130, 130, all the way up to 202, another 127, 153, 169. So something with Josh Dunkley is he's got a massive, massive ceiling. And when he goes big, he certainly goes big. Also, after round 7, only actually had 2 scores under the 100, which were an 88 and another 88. So when I was talking before about looking for a little bit of value, I think that there is value in Josh Dunkley because if we look at his early season scores, he did not turn up until that round 7. So given the fact that he had a couple of those 70s and the 80s in the first 6 rounds, I think that his overall season average was a little bit lower than what it could have been, particularly if he was playing full-time mid right from round 1. So that's a big reason, that ceiling and those consistent hundreds, as to why I selected Josh Dunkley. So as we can see, his score of 67 in round 1 of 2020 would have been his lowest score in all of 2019. So that's why we're a little bit concerned at this stage, given the fact that price is going to change after 2 rounds. Now, something else in Dunkley's favour, I suppose, if we look at that high break-even of 174, we know that he's got the potential to score a 160 to a 170. We saw a 200 from him last year. So that's something else that you need to keep in mind. It is only 1 week of data, and we certainly don't know how he's going to track over the next month. He's got a pretty good draw, so I assume that he will bounce back. Will he bounce back to something like a 124? I don't think it's likely. We know he's got a huge ceiling, but it's not like he's getting 174s each week. If he gets 2 to 3 scores of a 170 plus each season, then I think that's a real bonus. So we certainly can't be counting on him necessarily getting up that high. He'd be, 67? Well, he'd be looking for 100 points more than his first round score, which is a huge ask. We know that he can do it, but I wouldn't be really, really confident on that. The other reason that you may look to keep Dunkley is because you should always back your gut, back your research. As I said, I outlined all the reasons why I selected Dunkley in the preseason. And usually I would simply stick with my gut. I'd stick with that because I've taken the time to look really, really closely at the numbers. He's fit all the criteria that I set myself for one of my premium mids, and it'd be silly in most years to trade him after one round. As I said before, he's also an ultra professional. I know during the preseason, not the last break that the players had, but the Christmas preseason, he did go over to the US, spend some time with some NFL players, talk to them about their training habits, and as I said, he just goes above and beyond to get the best out of himself. But this year is a little bit different. So usually, after saying all that, I'd be keeping Josh Dunkley. But for me, there is one player who I'm really, really keen on. And that's the reason why I will most likely actually trade out Dunkley. After saying all that, yep, I'm probably going to trade him. And who's the man I'm going to trade him to? Patrick Dangerfield. Let's have a look why. We'll go up here and have a look at Danger's scores by ground. These are his scores when playing down at the Cattery. So have a look at that. There are 32, I think I counted, 32 scores, and only 5 out of those 32 he did not manage to hit the ton. 5 out of 32. Absolutely amazing. And within those tons, 156s, 137, 163, 130s, 187. Some average ones here. Then we go back up to that 130 odd, the 160s. Absolutely phenomenal. And given the fact that Geelong's home games are going to be now played at the Cattery, I say the Cattery because it was a Cardinia Park, skilled GMHBA, I think it is now. But those scores are simply amazing. And for me, that is just too good to knock back. Now, he only scored the 83 in round one, but there's a real positive to who he played in round one. Geelong obviously played the Giants, and we know that the person that we hate seeing coming up against one of our premium midfielders on any given week is Matty de Boer. I think the best tagger in the AFL. So that's another real bonus. He will not face de Boer again for the entire season. The other great thing about having Danger is that he's a great VC or captain option each week. So I'll be putting the vice captain on Brodie Grundy, and then I'll be captaining Dangerfield if I bring him in for Dunkley. At this stage, I'm probably 90% certain that I will make the move. But look, that also depends on rookies. So if all of a sudden all my bench rookies aren't playing or something happens to them, and look, there is a big chance of that. We're not certain that Starsvich, Brander, Brown, McInerney, Buderick, Kavara, we're certainly not sure that these guys will even play in round two and make the team. So I may not even have the luxury of being able to make that trade from Dunkley to Dangerfield, but if I can, I think that I will. But I may have more pressing options, such as the rookies on my bench. So for any other Dunkley owners, let me know what you guys are thinking. I think I've tried to outline all the positives of keeping Josh Dunkley, and also, I suppose, the advantage of looking to trade him to someone like a Dangerfield. Now, Dangerfield, as I said, only scored the 83 in round one, so he would have a highish break even as well. Not as high as Josh Dunkley's, but you're certainly not looking to make money necessarily in the first price range rise, with Dangerfield. But I think within the first month, you'll be really, really pleased that you've got Dangerfield in your side. So obviously for anyone that does have Dangerfield, I would highly, highly, highly advise you to keep him in your side. There should not be any reason why you'd look to trade him out. But if you do have another underperforming premium that may look to lose early money, then Dangerfield could be your man. If Dangerfield wasn't looking so tempting, I'd probably look to keep on to Dunkley. The only two that would cross my mind would be Titch, but again, I wouldn't be really confident in doing that. And the other one would be a cash grab, possibly going down to a Jack Viney. But I might save that for another video, my thoughts on that, because I probably need to think about it a little bit more deeply myself before actually making a final decision on that. I'm most likely not to go there, but you never know what could happen given the fact that we've got 5 trades and we can make some structural changes possibly if needed. So That's my thoughts anyway on the Dunkley situation, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Hope that you're all going well, and in the next video, I'll discuss a couple of other blokes that are on my chopping block and possibly who I may be looking to trade in. So take care, guys. Hope you're going well. I'll see you again soon. Bye.